In the video that you are about to watch, I will talk to you in detail with step-by-step explanations about Pi Network vs. Bitcoin, a complete analysis of two cryptocurrencies with different visions. Stay with me for the next few minutes as this video will last to truly understand the content of the next video. Before continuing, one thing I want to ask you: are you ready? If your answer is yes, then let's get started. Enjoy watching. In the cryptocurrency universe, Bitcoin is undoubtedly the king. It is the first cryptocurrency created, the most valuable and the most widely accepted. However, in recent years, an ambitious and mysterious project called Pi Network has emerged, which promises to democratize access to cryptocurrencies and make them easier to use for the masses. This video article aims to provide you with a comparative analysis between Bitcoin and Pi Network, considering the following aspects: the origin and vision of the projects, the technology behind each coin, the mining process, security and decentralization, use and acceptance, community and adoption, economics and tokenomics, regulation and legality, the future of Pi Network and Bitcoin, conclusions, and other aspects. Pi Network. Pi Network was founded in 2019 by three Stanford PhD students, Dr. Nicholas Kokolais, Dr. Chengdiao Fan, and Vincent McPhilip. The project aims to make cryptocurrency mining accessible to everyone, especially smartphone users, without the need for expensive hardware. Pi's vision is to create a digital currency for the people, built by the people, that can be mined with a simple daily click, fostering a global and active network of users. 2. The technology behind each coin. Blockchain and protocol. Bitcoin uses a public, fully decentralized blockchain based on the proof of work (POW) consensus algorithm. This is supported by a global network of miners who solve complex mathematical puzzles to validate transactions and create blocks. Pi Network, on the other hand, has not fully launched its public blockchain until now, 2025, but promises an implementation based on the Stellar Consensus Protocol, SCP, a lighter and greener mechanism than POW. This protocol is based on consensus between circles of trust formed between users. Open source vs. proprietary. Bitcoin is completely open source, with its code being public and subject to community audit. Pi Network, on the other hand, was closed at the beginning, and its code was not fully available to the public. This has raised concerns about transparency, although the team promises to make everything open as the network develops. 3. The Bitcoin mining process. Bitcoin mining requires specialized hardware, ASIC, and a massive consumption of electricity. It is a competitive process, and only the first miner to find the solution to the cryptographic puzzle receives the reward. The high cost and technical difficulty make Bitcoin mining inaccessible to the average user. Pi Network. Pi mining is done through a mobile app. Users only need to open the app once every 24 hours and press a button to continue mining. There is no additional battery or processing consumption, as the network relies on social activity and verification of other users in the circle of trust. This model is attractive to the masses, but criticized by some as less robust in terms of security and decentralization. 4. Security and decentralization. Bitcoin. Being completely decentralized, with thousands of nodes around the world, Bitcoin is considered very secure. The POW protocol makes it almost impossible to compromise without a 51% attack, which would require huge resources. Pi Network. Pi Network is not yet fully decentralized. The network is still in the closed mainnet phase, and control is exercised by the central team. This raises questions about the current degree of decentralization and security. However, Pi is expected to become decentralized once the full mainnet is launched and nodes are distributed to the community. 5. Usage and acceptance. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is already accepted by thousands of companies, online stores, and financial institutions. It is traded on all major cryptocurrency exchanges and can be used for investments, international transfers, online purchases, as a form of digital gold. Pi Network. Currently, Pi is not listed on major exchanges and can only be traded peer-to-peer on restricted marketplaces. Some communities have created ecosystems where Pi can be used to purchase products or services, but it is far from the level of adoption of Bitcoin. However, the project promises that once the mainnet is open, Pi will be freely tradable. 6. Community and adoption. Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a strong community of developers, investors, miners, and supporters. Its adoption is global and continues to grow. In 2021, El Salvador became the first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. Pi Network. Pi has managed to attract over 45 million users in just a few years without being officially tradable. The app is very popular in Asia, Africa, and South America, where access to traditional cryptocurrencies is limited. This large but largely passive community could become a huge asset in the future if the team delivers on its promises. 7. Economics and tokenomics. Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a total of 21 million coins, a limited supply that makes it deflationary. The reward for miners is halved every 4 years, which leads to an increase in value over time. Pi Network. Pi has a different mechanism, rewards decrease as the number of users increases. There is no clear and fixed limit to the total number of Pi in circulation, but the project promises a balanced system to prevent inflation. Pi's economy is largely based on utility value, how useful the coin will be in its ecosystem. 8. Regulation and legality. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is legal in most countries, but some governments restrict or even ban it, e.g. China. However, it is recognized as a digital asset or virtual good in many jurisdictions and regulated by specific laws. Pi Network. As it is still in its development phase, Pi is not officially regulated in many countries. Since it is not freely traded, the authorities have not yet classified it. However, if it is listed on exchanges, it will inevitably fall under cryptocurrency regulations. 9. The future of Pi Network and Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is considered the digital gold of the 21st century. Institutional investors support it, and it continues to gain ground as a safe haven asset against inflation. Future challenges include scalability and government regulations. Pi Network. Pi has huge potential due to its large number of users and accessibility. If it manages to create a solid, decentralized and useful ecosystem, it can become a force in the field of digital payments for the masses. However, much depends on the transparency of the team, the launch of the open mainnet and listing on exchanges. 10. Conclusions. Pi Network vs Bitcoin. Cryptocurrency Bitcoin launch. Launched, 2009. Founder, Satoshi Nakamoto. Blockchain, open, POW. Mining, specialized hardware. Number of users, millions. Listed on exchanges, yes. Decentralization, full. Purpose, digital gold, store of value. Reward, have every 4 years. Adoption, level global, official in some countries. Pi Network cryptocurrency. Launched, 2019. Founder, Dr. Nicholas Kokolais and Stanford team. Blockchain, SCP, in development. Mining, mobile app. Number of users, 45 plus million. Listed on exchanges, no, peer-to-peer only. Decentralization, currency for the masses, regular transactions. Rewards, decreasing as the number of users increases. Adoption level, growing, but experimental. Epilogue, who will win? The truth is that Bitcoin and Pi network are not direct rivals, but serve different purposes. Bitcoin is an investment asset, a store of value, and a symbol of decentralization. Pi network aspires to be a people's currency, easy to use, and globally adopted. In a future where cryptocurrencies become the norm, both projects can coexist. Pi could become the preferred means of payment for everyday transactions, while Bitcoin will remain the standard for digital value. 11 real-world use cases. A key aspect of the success of any cryptocurrency is its real-world utility. Bitcoin and Pi network are at different stages of development, but both can be analyzed from the perspective of practical uses. Bitcoin, real-world use cases. Investing and hedging against inflation. Many investors use Bitcoin to protect their savings against inflation and the devaluation of fiat currencies. International payments. Bitcoin is used as an alternative method to transfer money quickly and cheaply between countries, avoiding bank fees. Online purchases. Companies such as Microsoft, Overstock, Shopify, AT&T and others already accept Bitcoin as a payment method. Solutions for countries without banking infrastructure. In areas such as Sub-Saharan Africa or Venezuela, Bitcoin is a real alternative for unbanked populations. Pi network, possible use cases. Although still in its infancy, examples of local markets and communities using Pi for goods and services have begun to emerge. Peer-to-peer, P2P, marketplaces. In online communities, e.g. Pi Bazaar, Pi Lifestyle, users sell products, phones, clothes, digital services, in exchange for Pi. Local payments between users. In some African and Asian countries, users use Pi for small daily transactions, food, transportation, repairs. Microjobs and freelancing. Some emerging platforms allow payment in Pi for services such as translations, graphic design, promotion, or programming. Integration in mobile apps and games. Future applications built on the Pi blockchain may allow micropayments or incentives for users. 12 predictions about the future value of Pi network. One of the most controversial questions related to Pi is, how much will one Pi be worth in the future? What do we know at the moment? Pi is not yet officially listed on major exchanges, Binance, Coinbase, Kraken. There are only P2P transactions, and values vary between 10 cents and $10/Pi, depending on the agreements between users. The Pi network team has not set an official price. Factors that may influence the future value of Pi. Listing on major exchanges. Once officially listed, the price of Pi will stabilize according to supply and demand. Number of active users. If millions of users continue to use Pi daily, demand will increase. Number of merchants accepting Pi. If thousands of stores and applications accept Pi as payment, its utility value will increase. Economic model, tokenomics. If the reward system is balanced and prevents inflation, the value can be sustained in the long term. Possible future scenarios, speculative. Scenario estimated value Pi, speculative, context. Low, Local communities only, 10 cents, 50 cents. No major listings, limited local adoption. Medium, listings on small exchanges, $1 to $5 Pi becomes tradable, has use in online marketplaces. Optimistic, global listing plus real adoption, $10, $100 plus Pi is globally accepted, large marketplaces, active real ecosystem. Note, these estimates are purely speculative and do not constitute financial advice. 13. How to transfer Pi between users. Until the full opening of the mainnet, Pi can only be transferred between verified users, KYC, on the Pi network. Conditions for transferring Pi. KYC verification. Only users who have passed the KYC process can send or receive Pi. Access to the mainnet wallet. Each verified user receives a Pi mainnet wallet, where a portion of the mined coins are transferred. Both people must be KYC and in the active network. Transfers can be made between verified wallets via the wallet address, similar to those in Bitcoin or Ethereum. Steps to send Pi, after KYC. Open the Pi Network app. Access the Pi mainnet wallet. Press Send. Enter the recipient's wallet address. Enter the amount and confirm with your personal PIN. Fees. Currently, the transaction fee is extremely low or non-existent as the network is in the testing phase. In the future, minimal fees may appear for security reasons. 14. Risks and warnings. While Pi network has potential, there are potential risks to be aware of. Early stage, not a fully launched project and the true value is still uncertain. Lack of full transparency, some parts of the code and economic system are not yet public. Danger of centralization, currently, the team controls most of the nodes and decisions. Risk of P2P scams, in unofficial Pi marketplaces, fraud attempts may occur. It is essential that users remain vigilant and informed at every stage of the Pi network's development. 15. Final conclusion, 2 visions, a decentralized future. Bitcoin and Pi network represent 2 different visions of the financial future. Bitcoin is the store of value, the ultimate digital asset, heavy, expensive, but secure. Pi network is the mass social experiment, free, mobile, accessible, and promising. In an ideal world, Bitcoin could be digital gold and Pi could be everyday money. If Pi succeeds in turning millions of users into active contributors to a decentralized economy, it could become one of the biggest digital revolutions of this decade. But until then, time, transparency, and community engagement will be essential in determining the future of Pi network.